Hello and welcome to STEAM It with Steve. We have an exciting journey today where our teacher friends will learn how to apply digital fluencies into a game of Fruit Ninja. Fruit Ninja has been a popular game that was first released in 2010. The objective is to have the fruit randomly appear on the touchscreen and then for the user to slice through it using their finger. Instead of swiping with your finger, I've used the inbuilt augmented reality functions in Scratch to detect motion through a camera. From Sparrow's research, I focused on creation and innovation. The use of AR technology with the user-friendly approach to Scratch allows programmers to build applications without the steep learning curve, and it's also innovative to see new Scratch libraries. Wayne best describes the best definition of the digital fluency for this project. The Fruit Ninja activity builds on knowledge that I already have, allowing me to apply my foundational knowledge into a new context. This project allowed me to apply extensive experience using the software design cycle. I used my algorithmic thinking skills with Scratch and knowledge of how images are captured and how they can be applied in an AR setting, as well as how to modify some sprites. I have 22 years of coding experience and have worked in industry. This allows me to know what coding skills students need. After introducing a new coding concept, repetition and simple examples are critical for student success. I've also created my own YouTube channel that has numerous tutorials, and I know how to find the appropriate resources on the internet rather than reinventing the wheel. I've programmed in many different languages and experienced multiple development environments. When searching for a tutorial, it must pass 3 criteria. Firstly, does the presenter have a clear voice? Secondly, does the video teach the desired skill? And thirdly, is it the most efficient way to teach the concept? I searched through a couple of tutorials during a video search and found the ATech one to be the best. The presenter was very clear with her instructions and had the code to follow along with. Her video demonstrated a very straightforward version of Fruit Ninja that was fun and engaging to make. ATech started by adding an Apple sprite into the center of the screen. She then added a video sensing library into the computer and a main loop that was used to sense if motion occurred on the sprite. This was really cool for me as a programmer to see how easy it was to integrate a complex coding paradigm. After this, the apple spawns on either side and then glides to the other side. Finally, we then created the slide apple module, which made the apple pixelated when struck and then reset. The apple initially wasn't resolving away from me when struck. Unfortunately, one line of code wasn't correct and the whole program didn't work. It turned out I was using the set function instead of the change function, and after fixing this line of code, the AR application worked perfectly. To extend on this tutorial, I had a few different ideas. The first was to add a scoring function in to make the game have an objective. The second was then to add in another apple to see what would happen. By duplicating the apple, the code was copied exactly the same as the new sprite. This issue basically made the same broadcast message being used, which meant if one apple got struck, both would disappear. I fixed this by changing the image into a new taco and then adding a new slide and reset message. Using the frame tep, I feel this project was attached to Multiplicity, with students needing some level of technology competence with the fundamental understanding of Scratch. They draw on connections between what they already know with how to apply it in this activity. This task would be more teacher-centric initially, and once students have mastered the initial concepts, they could look at ways of expanding their understanding. Using the Kelly and Knowles framework, the primary lifting cog would be technology. Students are learning how to code in Scratch while using the AR library. They are learning their fundamental skills in Scratch and expanding on their thinking. Kelly and Knowles would also be proud of this STEM project due to the maths being an important cog. This is because students learn how Cartesian planes work, random number generators, and also a bit of Boolean logic. A lesser cog would be the engineering that is applied. However, students will still apply the design thinking, and there's a little bit of science as well with some vectors. I'm very keen to develop a new program called Human Tetris AR in Scratch. I feel this would be a lot of fun and get students to use all the concepts that we've covered already. I would also like to look into Scratch's video sensing framework, in particular how the sensitivity works, into the new libraries. And finally, I would like to look into other AR tutorials available online.